Hey, let's talk about something that almost everybody gets wrong when they're buying a house. People love to shop for the best interest rate. And listen, I get it, right? It makes sense if you're borrowing hundreds of thousands of dollars or shoot millions of dollars. Of course, you want the lowest rate possible. But here's the part that nobody in the mortgage industry will ever tell you. It's an insider secret. There is not a special box of cheap money sitting in the back office. There's no hidden vault where lender says, "Oh, well, we're holding this for our favorite customers." That ain't how it works. The reality is almost every dollar used to fund mortgages comes from the same place, the bond market. The vast majority of mortgages are bundled together into what are called mortgage-backed securities. And these bundles are sold to investors on the bond market. And the pricing of those bonds is what determines the mortgage rate. So rates aren't random. They're definitely not made up by the loan officer. Okay. They're determined by the characteristics of the loan inside that mortgage backed security. Here's the important part. Every loan scenario is unique. So your credit score, the down payment, is it owner occupied? Is it a second home, investment home, single family, townhome, condo? What are the debt to income ratios? What's the loan size, property type, occupancy, reserves, etc.? All those factors, every one of them affect pricing. And so when someone calls three lenders and say, "Hey, what's your rate today?" It's almost impossible for that person to give an accurate answer. There is no universal rate of the day. Mortgage pricing is specific to your exact scenario on that exact time. And so I would argue it's either misinformed or lack of experience or maybe unethical for a mortgage professional to quote an interest rate without reviewing a full application and evaluating the file. Because without those details, it's just a guess. And here's something that people don't realize. Rates change daily, sometimes more than once in a day. So if you call one lender at 9 a.m. and another at 3 p.m., you're not even comparing the same market conditions. And it becomes a literal impossibility to truly rate shop. So the real question is, well, how do you make sure that you're going to get the best rate? First, work with an experienced professional, someone who understands all the moving parts, someone who knows how pricing adjusts, someone who can structure the loan correctly from the beginning, and someone who understands how to read and pay attention to the bond market. Because sometimes the difference between a higher rate and a lower rate isn't the lender, it's the way the loan was structured and when the rate was locked. Second, and this is important, work with a mortgage broker. Banks and direct lenders typically offer their own products. They have overlays sometimes. They may interpret guidelines differently. They may apply loan level pricing adjustments slightly differently. They may have stricter internal rules. A mortgage brokerage operates differently. So we hold a special license that allows us to originate loans with multiple banks and lenders and other institutions. And so that means we can take your specific scenario, the credit, income, property, your goals, and shop it for you across multiple lenders. And we're not struck with one pricing engine or limited to one credit box. We're not tied to one system. We can compare real offers in real time, and that's how you get the best terms, not by cold calling five random companies and hoping that someone has a little bit of ethics and probably tells you the truth. But you want to work with someone who understands the bond market, understands how to structure deals, and has access to multiple capital sources. And the lowest rate doesn't come from shopping harder. It comes from structuring smarter. So if you'd like to learn more about how rates actually work, or you'd like me to review your specific scenario, drop a comment below with the word rates. Or better yet, text me directly at 407-434-1777. Mortgage hotline, NMLS ID 2608288. And my NMLS ID is 1984388. Have a great day.